Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. I don't normally make videos about these freak show fights, but I debated about it. I was thinking about it, and I said, you know what? I have to put a video out criticizing what's going on at Triller right now because I really think it is disturbing. I really think it's grotesque, and I feel like there has to be somebody out there criticizing this. I know there's probably others, but I just felt like, you know what? I'm going to make a video on this, and I'm going to let you guys know, even though I'm a small channel, I'm going to let you guys know how I feel about this current situation that's going on with the boxing match that is Triller this Saturday. So, for those of you who don't know, former UFC fighter Vitor Belfort was supposed to take on Oscar De La Hoya in a boxing match this Saturday, and Oscar De La Hoya pulled out of the boxing match. And Triller decided to sub in Evander Holyfield, who was 58 years old. And there was some training footage that came out on YouTube. I'm going to show you guys that in a second and then react to it, which I find truly disturbing that they're putting this man in a boxing match. I just find it super disturbing. You guys will see what I'm talking about here in a minute. But there's also many other layers to this that are truly disgusting. And first, I want to take you back to 2012, 2013. And this was when Vitor Belfort was knocking guys dead in the UFC. And there's a point that I'm getting to here. But you look back at around 2013, he brutally head kick KOs Michael Bisping, who ended up losing an eye as a result of that fight. Then he goes to spinning heel kick KO Luke Rockhold. Then he goes to head kick KO Dan Henderson. And what was going on in MMA at this point in time, if you guys aren't familiar with it, is people were getting TRT exemptions. And what that is a testosterone replacement therapy exemption. Athletic commissions were allowing guys to take testosterone prescribed by a doctor because whatever reason, they got older, to boost their testosterone levels. And a lot of people speculated for a while that it was being abused. And Vitor Belfort's body was just insane at this point in time for his age. And there was a lot of criticism. There was people saying the UFC is hiding Vitor in Brazil from the athletic commissions, from the testing, in the United States, which was considered better, which I don't doubt, honestly. And Vitor was just knocking guys dead. Well, finally it came up to the athletic commissions in the United States, Las Vegas, California. They all decided to come together and they decided, you know what, we're going to ban TRT. And there's a point I'm getting to, and it has to do with this boxing match. But they said, we're going to ban TRT. And it doesn't matter if you have any doctors, saying you need it. You cannot use it while competing in MMA because people were abusing the system. Vitor Belfort immediately started to deflate. His body started to shrink, sag, change significantly. So take that for what you will. And then after that, he went on to only win 2 more fights in the UFC from 2013 to 2018. So in 5 years, he won 2 fights after TRT was banned. He lost to Chris Weidman. He got destroyed. That was his first fight after TRT was banned. Then he beat Dan Henderson, who's aging himself. Then he lost to Jacare Souza. Then he lost to Gegard Mousasi. Then he lost to Kelvin Gastelum. Then he beat Nate Marquardt. And then he lost to Lyoto Machida. And then he left the UFC. So there was speculation when he left the UFC that he would get back on TRT and become TRT Vitor again. And the point I'm getting to here is Vitor Belfort in interviews looks ginormous again. He looks like 2013 Vitor. And the fact that they're putting this guy who is in absolute crazy shape. I'm going to put a picture on the screen of him doing an interview. It's actually hard to find shirtless pics of him right now. I don't know if that's done purposely or not, but there's a picture of him doing an interview, and you can just see he's not shirtless, but he just looks absolutely jacked. And the fact that they're going to put that Vitor Belfort in there with a 58-year-old man who has not boxed in 10 years is just disgusting. So let's get to the training footage of Evander Holyfield, and then we'll come back, we'll react to it, and then I'm going to tell you one more layer that I'm absolutely repulsed by. So let's watch that footage now. So there you guys go. You can see it for yourselves from Fight Hub TV. I'll put the link to the full video in the description. But this is a 58-year-old man hitting pads. And I mean, what could you expect from a 58-year-old man? I mean, he's almost 60 years old. And on short notice, they're throwing him into a boxing match against Vitor Belfort, who may or may not be back on TRT, whether it's prescribed or not. I just think this is so disgusting. This man is a senior citizen, and look how slow he was. Look how labored those uppercuts were. Look how terrible his footwork was and the way he moved around the ring for little he did. This man looks like a man who needs to be relaxing at home, watching game shows, doing whatever, 58-year-old men do, and not being called, at 58 years old. And I know I keep harping on the 58, but I can't believe that this fight is going to be sanctioned with this man at 58 years old. And that's the other point I'm going to get to here in a second. But just look how slow he looked. I mean, he does not belong in a ring, a cage. He does not belong competing in any combat sport at this point in time. He's just too old, too slow, and there can be real consequences from this. I mean, we've seen Chuck Liddell come back, late in his career after being off for like 10 years and get brutally KO'd by Tito Ortiz, and it was just atrocious. And I just don't want to see this. And I think there's real criticism to be made to not only do this, but do it on short notice. And this is where we get to the last layer of this whole situation. So this fight was originally supposed to go down in California. And when Oscar De La Hoya pulled out of the fight, they decided they were going to move the entire event to Florida. And the reason I believe that's going on is before these boxing matches, MMA fights, any type of combat sports, there's an athletic commission that oversees the event that's independent to the promotion and the fighters. And they have to approve licenses for these guys to compete. So this helps protect fighters against themselves. They shouldn't be in there with this level of guy or that level of guy, or they shouldn't be in there at all. And I think Triller made a conscious decision. They said, you know what? California, which is known as one of the better athletic commissions in the United States, is not going to approve a license for Evander Holyfield. So you know what? Let's take the entire event to Florida. And it looks like it's going to happen. I'd be shocked if it didn't happen at this point. And I think somebody needs to be held accountable for this. And what's particularly disturbing is if Evander Holyfield goes out there, gets brutally KO'd, he recovers, everything's fine, everyone will forget about it. But I just think, this is so disgusting that I had to put a video out and I had to react to it. And it's just, I mean, there's so many levels between Vitor looking the way he does at 44 years old, looking the way he does is not natural, combined with a short notice 58-year-old opponent. And then moving an entire event just because of licensing issues. I think this is one of the most disgusting looks for all of combat sports, whether it be MMA and boxing. And I just had to put my opinion out there. So, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this boxing match. Are you going to watch it? Because I know I'm not. Let me know. Am I being too, reactive to this? Am I crazy? I really want to know in the comments. So please leave your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.